Coming up right now on Marlborough this week, a group of volunteers aim to end hunger here in the city this summer. What the program is and who's backing their efforts in just minutes. Local road construction may slow some commutes in the coming weeks. We have details on where it's taking place and for how long it will last. Plus, a local senior center gets a green boost. Details on what will be changed aimed at saving the city cash during these tough financial times. And later in this half hour, the Memorial Day parade is come and gone, but we took a moment to see how the city's festivities affect our veterans. Those stories and more on this week's show. Marlborough This Week begins right now. Officials and members of the Mayor's Youth Commission gathered last week for a press conference that promised an effort to end hunger this summer. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin right now with this week's top story.
Trying to end hunger here in Marlborough, I thought was something that was doable, and that's what we're trying to accomplish with this program.
After serving more than 5,000 lunches to children in need last summer, the Mayor's Youth Commission expects its program will provide a midday meal for even more kids this year. The Children's Summer Lunch Program launched its 4th season last Thursday and is preparing for an increase in the number it serves meals to 3 days a week from June 22nd through August 28th. Lunches, including a sandwich, fruit, snack, and juice box, are delivered to children on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays to school programs, the Boys and Girls Club, the Recreation Department, and Countryside Village Apartments. The meals are also taken to First United Methodist Church, where kids not involved in summer programs can get lunch. U.S. Representative James McGovern stated that hunger hits people of all ages, but it seems quite cruel when children don't have enough to eat.
I wish every community in my district and every community in the country would have the initiative that the people standing behind me have shown.
The summer lunch program is run by volunteers and exists on food and monetary donations from local businesses, churches, civic organizations, and residents. Volunteers are needed to make the lunches on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays possible.
All donations go straight to feeding children, and it couldn't happen without a lot of help.
At the press conference, Mayor Nancy Stevens thanked everyone involved, calling it a helpful service to local children.
We all know in this day and age, in the tough financial times we have, no child should have to go hungry, and it's a struggle for parents to feed their children. So to have a program like this where we can guarantee that our students, our children are going to have something to eat several days a week, it really is a wonderful program. State Senator Jamie Aldridge praised the program.
It really is an outrage, even in a time of a budget crisis, that there are children who still go to sleep hungry. So I hope this program will combat that a bit. We've been working very hard on the state budget to restore some of the funding for food banks across the state. But clearly we need to do more, and that's where this program will hopefully help fill those gaps.
For more information about the summer lunch program, call the Department of Human Services at 508-460-3758.
When you're done making those lunches and you deliver them and you see the kids who are getting them, you really feel good.
At the Legislative and Legal Committee meeting Monday night, councilors recommended an ordinance that officials say would be a helpful enforcement option in the wake of recent loosening of the marijuana possession law. State voters last year passed Question 2, which decriminalized possession of an ounce or less of marijuana and made the penalty a civil citation of $100. Under the new ordinance, police officers could issue a criminal complaint and impose a $300 fine on anyone caught using marijuana in public in the city. The committee recommended approval 3-0, and the ordinance heads next to the full council. The city council may have set a record for its quickest meeting, one that extended the time councilors have to act on a special permit application. The special meeting, called last week, lasted about 30 seconds. Councilors approved an extension until June 22 for them to act on the special permit application for the overlook at Lake Williams condominium development. If the full council okays the application, the developer still has to go before the Conservation Commission for an ordinance of conditions because the work is within 100 feet of wetlands. The Gutierrez Company plans 60 condos for the Route 20 development across from Lake Williams. And finally, the proposed downtown Marlborough Savings Bank branch, which includes a drive-through ATM, got unanimous approval from the Urban Affairs Committee Tuesday night following compromises on both sides. Ward 3 Councilor Scott Schaefer, whose ward includes the site, said he appreciated some of the bank's concessions, particularly the new light plan for the 81 Granger Boulevard property. Both parties settled on a condition that the City Council could review and adjust the opening and closing times after 1 year in operation. The committee recommended approval of the special permit by a 5-0 vote. The full council will vote on it at its June 22nd meeting. Pending approval, the bank aims to start construction in August. I'm Dan Ginden for this week's Committee Corner.
Water line replacement installation work has begun on Maple Street and Route 85, which will last until the end of July. The work has begun at the Mill and Walker Street intersection and will continue to the Southborough Town Line. Construction will take place between 7 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Expect delays. Well, the Liberty Hill Apartments at 240 Main Street are about to go green. The Community Development Office has received funding for energy-efficient lighting and plans to use it at the senior housing complex. The funding, administered by National Grid, covers just over $14,000 of the cost. The Community Development Office will pay for the remaining $6,300, but the city will save that much in electric costs in just 9 months. Thanks to a grant from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, Marlborough residents may purchase New England rain barrels at a discounted price of $63. This is a discount of nearly 40%. You can make an order by going online at anyrainbarrel.com. Orders must be placed before June 25th and can be picked up at the Department of Public Works. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, one local senior was deemed fit for life at a recent awards ceremony. We have this year's honoree. But first, the 25th annual Relay for Life. Don't move, you don't want to miss the details of this year's heartwarming event. Stay with us, we're back right after this.
The mission of the Young Professionals Network, a program of the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, is to network and socialize with like-minded young professionals from the Metro West and surrounding areas.
Not enough young professionals are getting out and learning the skills and making the connections that they need.
If you are looking to create long-term business relationships and you want to grow professionally, YPN is for you.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. Despite a late spring chill, Marlborough and Hudson's Relay for Life took place last Friday and Saturday night at Galone Park. Teams of people took turns walking around a track for 12 hours. Teams participating this year tripled from last year to raise money for cancer research. Here's more on the 25th annual Relay for Life that raised about $90,000. The American Cancer Society's Relay for Life for Marlborough and Hudson kicked off last Friday evening with a celebration of life at Galone Park. The event battled cancer once again this year. The fundraising effort with Bob Kays as chairman this year has been going on for months. This year, an outstanding 67 teams took part in this life-changing event. Many teams choose to participate in someone's honor, usually a cancer survivor or victim. Hundreds of residents gathered Friday afternoon to begin campsite setup. As the day progressed, several activities unfolded. Opening ceremonies took place at 7 p.m.
While each of us have a unique reason for being here, we all have something very much in common. We want to make a difference in the fight against cancer.
Ago, I lost my dad to kidney cancer, and I wish my dad was here to walk in the survivor's lap. But I have so many people that I care about that are here tonight, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. I am honored and privileged to be sharing this with you tonight.
Bob Landry from the Board of Health gave a moving talk about his son's winning battle against leukemia, his father's lost battle to cancer, and his own recent diagnosis with prostate cancer.
I stand here tonight as a patient of cancer. In February, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Happy to say that I'm doing very, very well.
Next was the Always Emotional Survivors Lap, a lap walked only by cancer survivors to show everyone that there is hope in battling this disease. That was immediately followed by the Caregivers Lap, a lap walked by family members and others who have cared for cancer patients as caregivers join the survivors. All proceeds from the relays go to the American Cancer Society. In addition, individuals often set up booths and sell items for the cause during the relays as well. As you can see, our cameras went home as soon as the sun went down, but the event carried on without us until the next morning. Everyone in the community came to the relay to have a great time, stay all night, and help out a terrific cause. Some local students got a chance to spend some time outdoors and enjoy the warm weather on Tuesday. It was all part of the field day events at Jarrick Elementary School. Students at the school took part in some friendly competition with activities aimed at getting everyone's hearts pumping. School administrators say it's a way to give back to the students for all their hard work throughout the year while gaining some physical activity at the same time. Well, speaking of getting hearts pumping, the city will be hosting its first annual Marlborough Triathlon on July 26th to benefit some great causes. We met up with Tim Crowley, one of the co-founders of the event on Tuesday, to learn more. Beijing Olympic triathlete Jared Shoemaker, his coach Tim Crowley, and local triathlon director Bill Burnett have joined forces to found a new triathlon in Marlborough on July 26th.
There's some spots left, but we feel like it probably in the next several weeks it might close out by beginning of July.
The race will be a sprint triathlon consisting of a quarter-mile swim in the Fort Meadow Reservoir, a 15-mile bike ride, and a 3.2-mile run.
A race like this really survives on a lot of help from volunteers, and it's a great way to get involved with the race and see it from a different perspective, whether it's working the finish line, registration, or aid state, water stops on the run course.
Crowley recommends that athletes take a good look at the course beforehand to ensure that there are no surprises on race day. To guarantee a safe race day for all, the necessary precautions have been taken.
Really a lot of time and efforts being put in by both Marlborough and Hudson to ensure a safe race.
Athletes will range from beginners to intermediate to expert.
It's rare that you can get the average athlete or the beginner athlete can compete side by side with world-class athletes. So that's kind of a fun, and it doesn't happen all that much in sports anymore.
In addition to keeping their bodies fit and healthy through the race, triathletes can also help sick kids get better by raising funds for Children's Hospital Boston. In addition to the hospital, the Marlborough Public Schools Foundation is also a beneficiary. For more information or to register for the Marlborough Triathlon, visit marlboroughtri.com. And if you want to fundraise for Children's Hospital Boston, you can sign up at childrenshospital.org. To continue with local fitness, the Wayside Racquet and Swim Club presented their 13th annual Fit for Life Award this month to a deserving senior who takes part in an active lifestyle, and we were there.
Today we just presented our 13th annual award.
Achilles Evangelist was presented with the 13th annual George Fortin Fit for Life Award during National Senior Health and Fitness Day activities held last week at the Wayside Racquet and Swim Club.
Achilles been here for about 14 years. He's a water fitness enthusiast. He's just a great friend to all. He's Mr. Fix-It, takes care of everything for everybody, and very deserving of the award and a perfect fit for the Fortin Award.
The Fortin Fit for Life Award is presented each year to an individual whose lifelong commitment to exercise and physical fitness has served as an inspiration to those whose lives they have touched. The award is named after 92-year-old George Fortin of Marlborough, who at the age of 80 was the first recipient of the award after completing a triathlon that included a 1/4-mile swim, a 9.2-mile bike ride, and a 3.2-mile run.
It's very meaningful to him. He's a very humble man, so it's not easy for him to do, but he's a great guy. I love him dearly.
McLaughlin says starting traditions at the club has been important to him over his 22 years at Wayside, and this tradition couldn't make him more proud.
You start the traditions, the luncheon, the whole thing, it makes the club much more of a club and less a business.
The Kane School third grade chorus, under the direction of Michael Cicerone, made an appearance that thrilled the crowd with their musical selection. I think it's safe to say that each and every guest attending the event last week enjoyed the celebration of National Health and Fitness Day. Coming up, a local Boy Scout is honored for his community service. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Daniel. My brother Jacob has autism.
Most people don't know what that is. We've learned about autism. To the Autism Alliance of Metro West, we met other families just like ours. Now it's easier for us to do fun things all together. Please visit the website at www.autismalliance.org.
Welcome back to Marlborough. This week, U.S. Congressman Jim McGovern presented a local Boy Scout with the Congressional Award Silver Medal for the good works he has done for the betterment of this community. A press conference was held last Thursday to present him with the medal.
Probably amongst the nicest things I get to do, because it's not only in recognition of what you have done, but I think it's also an indication that you're going to have a great future. So we expect high achievement from you, and we expect incredible things in the future. So it is my honor to present this to you.
I'm looking forward to helping out the community even more and to seeing you guys a lot more.
State Senator Jamie Aldridge and State Representative Danielle Gregoire joined McGovern to congratulate Stedman on his great accomplishments and look forward to his contributions in the future. Well, speaking of special kids, Assabet Valley High School has a truckload of them, but there is one in particular that has caught the eye of Apple Incorporated and the iPhone. Here's more on his exciting story. Have you ever wondered what was for lunch at Assabet Valley High School? Well, thanks to one senior from Marlborough in the Computer Programming and Web Development program, there is now an app for that.
I've created 2 apps so far that are released for the App Store. And the first one was a lunch menu for my school.
While researching his senior project on building an Apple application called Gears, a social community for gamers, Dom decided to first build a simpler application. Since the lunch menu is one of the most popular pages on the Assabet Valley website, he chose to build an app that would download the lunch menu from the site for his fellow students and their parents. On March 6th, he submitted his application to Apple. After 3 rejections, he finally got it approved on May 5th and is now a licensed iPhone developer.
It started as a little dream in September. It started out as something small that I didn't think my teachers would be very supportive of, and then it just turned into something bigger and bigger. I was very close to giving up and just outsourcing it to someone to make my dream a reality, but I decided to take a break from my main project and make the lunch menu, and in the process, I learned a lot.
His application is 99 cents and is now available.
I make 70% of the profit. 30% goes to Apple. It's really nice to see other people using the product that I made.
Dom says he owes it all to his teachers at Assabet Valley High School, who gave him flexibility to be creative and achieve his dreams.
I want to just thank Assabet in general for providing a great school to go to, and especially my teachers for supporting me and making this all possible.
Today we have Toby. Toby's as cute as a button, as you can see. He's probably only about 9 or 10 weeks old. We think a Cocker Spaniel mix, so he'll probably only get to be about maybe 30 or 40 pounds or so, maybe a little bit bigger. It's hard to say for sure. He's active, he's chewing, he's teething, he's a lot of work, but he's cute and sweet, and if you're interested in adopting a puppy, please give us a call at the Buddy Dog Humane Society. The number is 978-443-6990.
Well, it may be time for me to pick everything up around here because sports may be finished for the summer. Last Sunday, Marlborough softball was taking on the Chieftains in their first-round playoff matchup. Let's see what happened. The Marlborough Panthers were taking on the Neshoba Chieftains last Sunday in a second-round matchup after their bye. The second-seeded Panthers, though, were in some trouble. Down 3-1 already. This drive down the left field line makes it 4-1 Neshoba. Neshoba looking for some more. Molly McGuire was in on relief for Ney, and this ball is driven into right field down the line. That's going to score one. A double there puts the Panthers down 5-1. With runners on the corners now, Molly McGuire back in action, trying to get out of it. Gets the pop-up towards second base, but it falls in front of her, bobbles it, can't pick it up, can't get out of the inning. 6-1 Chieftains. So an upset in the making. An undefeated Marlborough in the league had already beaten Neshoba twice this season. Both were close games. But then Marlborough down 6-1, trying to get something going. Ground ball deep in the hole to short. Throw to first, gets away, puts the leadoff girl aboard. So Marlborough got something brewing potentially. The girls get on their feet.
Kelsey got second base, Kelsey. Watch the bunt.
Stepping to the dish. Kelsey Bryant, the younger of the two stud Bryant sisters. That's a bomb deep down the left field line. She's got a chance to round them all. Heading all the way into home. If their fence wasn't 300 feet away, she probably wouldn't have been able to walk. Instead, she had to run. But she cuts the deficit in half, 6-3 with an inside the park home run. Marlborough with more opportunity later in the inning with a girl on first, still trailing by 3. There's the other Bryant, Jessie Bryant. She's actually going to Providence College on a full scholarship. Deep fly to center field, but caught and doubled up over at first base. Neshoba gets out of the jam. So we head to the 7th inning now. 2 outs, nobody on. Jessie Bryant drives another one to center field, but under it is the Chieftains center fielder, and Marlborough goes down in defeat, 6-3. Their first league loss happens to come in the postseason, and their season ends at 18-3. Oh, well, it looks like I got to work on my form. Well, later this month, girls will have an opportunity to work on their form as well. From the killer crossover to the beef when it comes to shooting, balance, elbow, eye, follow through at Camp Fundamentals. Later this month, girls 9 to 15 will have an opportunity to improve their skills.
The whole idea is that we look at different parts of basketball, break it down to a very simple form, and hopefully over the format of the 4 days, by the time the campers are finished, that they're going to leave there with a lot of things that they can do on their own to really perfect their skills, as they move forward from year to year.
The camp will take place at Assabet Valley Regional High School, June 29th to July 2nd, with each camper receiving individual attention.
We are keeping it to a very, very minimal first-year number of kids because the real focus is to concentrate and provide a lot of attention for each camper.
Lead instructor Frank Ferrer has numerous AAU titles and most recently a state vocational crown at Assabet. But it's not his personal accolades that will make this camp beneficial for the girls involved.
I've been involved in being part of different camps throughout the Northeast for many years. I've had AAU programs in which I've not only been director, but I've coached on a national level. And I've also been director of some of these camps. So I have a very, very good idea of what it takes to be successful because I've seen some camps that I thought have been very, very well done and others that have been focused more on names as opposed to actual concentration of fundamentals in a camp.
There was a lot of great action this spring and early on in this summer, and next week we'll take a look at all that in a great highlight video I'll put together for you, as well as there's another basketball camp coming up later this month. But until then, we'll see you around the city.
Thanks, Carl. Still ahead, what the Memorial Day festivities means to our local veterans. But first, a look at your 5-day forecast. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Hi, I'm firefighter Mark. I just got back from fighting a fire that could have been prevented. Here's an easy and simple way to protect you and your family from a fire. Change your batteries in your smoke detector. When replacing the batteries in your smoke detector, make sure that you have fresh, new batteries. When testing your smoke detector, you want to make sure that you push the test button. And don't forget about carbon monoxide in your home. There are 2 types of detectors to protect yourself from carbon monoxide. This one is battery operated and needs to be mounted on your wall. This one needs to be plugged into your wall outlet. So remember, be smart, be aware, be fire safe.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. The Memorial Day Parade has become a staple in this community, not only to residents, but also to the veterans in which we honor. We sat down with the president of the Marlborough Veterans Council to learn how they contribute to the day's festivities far before the parade even begins.
If you attend the Memorial Day Parade every year in Marlborough, you know the drill. The parade starts at 10 a.m. sharp. Participants gather to watch the mayor, members of city council, middle and high school bands, scout troops, and other supporting organizations march through downtown. What you may not know is that far before the parade begins, memorial services are being conducted in the city's cemeteries a few days before.
All the veterans organizations go back to the 5 main cemeteries, and they leave a wreath, and they also play taps, and pay honor to the veterans at 9 o'clock sharp in the morning before we all assemble for the parade down on John Street and start the actual parade.
According to John, all of the flowers, flags, and decorations that were placed this past Memorial Day were not overlooked. John received a call this past week from a woman whose dad recently passed away, and she wanted to thank the Veterans Council for all they do for this community.
And she was just overwhelmed at the flags that were placed at Evergreen Cemetery down on Wilson Avenue. And I could almost see tears in her eyes over the phone. I mean, she was so thankful.
Memorial Day is a special day for a lot of residents, especially the veterans. And when they see the turnout each year, their hearts are truly touched. For Marlborough This Week, I'm Kelly McLaughlin.
Just a reminder that the city will be cleaning up all cemeteries starting Tuesday, June 16th. All flowers and decorations must be removed, and any remaining items left in the cemeteries will be removed. And before we go, Marlborough Hospital will be hosting their 11th Safe Summer Fun Day from 10 to 2 p.m. on Saturday, June 13th. The event will feature hands-on exhibits on healthy eating, sun exposure, and heart health. The UMass Memorial Air Ambulance is scheduled to arrive between 11 a.m. and noon, and the ever-popular rock climbing wall will be on hand so kids can test their climbing ability in a safe environment. For more information, please call 508-486-5806. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. The 2009 election is on its way. We have the residents that have pulled nomination papers so far and what they're running for. Plus, the senior students of this community move on from the confines of their classrooms to bigger and better things. We have a recap of this year's school graduations. And later in this half hour, the Garden Club celebrates an important anniversary with a colorful gathering. Those stories and more on this week's show. Marlborough This Week begins right now. Mayor Nancy Stevens goes to many events throughout the year, but the awards ceremony we're about to show you is among her top 3 to attend each year. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin right now with this week's top story. On Wednesday evening, 37 local residents received a Youth Service Award from Mayor Nancy Stevens. The event, which was held at the Courtyard by Marriott, recognized and celebrated the young people of this community for their acts of kindness, willingness to help out, and their desire to make a difference in their communities.
To me, volunteering and having a sense of community is so important. And when we expect it, I think we expect it of adults. We expect that the community is given to you, you'll give back to the community, and it's something that I think as adults we think we need to do. But when we see children and young adults giving back to the community, when they could be out playing with their friends, going to the mall, playing video games, but they have that sense of pride and that sense of community. And I think it's wonderful that we take the opportunity to recognize that.
Nominations for Outstanding Youth are presented to the Mayor's Youth Commission early in the year, and then the final recipients are chosen and are awarded at this ceremony. Peggy Ayers, chair of the Mayor's Youth Commission, started off with a quote to set the tone for the evening.
Money isn't everything. It's important to remember that you are being judged by your generosity.
10 of this year's recipients are students from the Marlborough High School postgraduate program. Staffer Cheryl Jaware nominated the students for their positive attitudes and their willingness to contribute to so many activities.
They are loving and they'll do anything in the community, and they have gone out in the community. They've done a million things out there.
After receiving their awards, the mayor let each honoree explain what great things they have done in the community. One recipient was proud of the fact that he works at Price Chopper supermarkets.
I work at Price Chopper on Thursdays, and I got paid.
Several children were recognized for their contribution to the Marlborough Children's Summer Lunch Program, while other youths were nominated for a lifetime of good citizenship.
A lot of times people do great things, but they don't get that little pat on the back or that thank you or that appreciation that comes along with it. And I don't think you do it for that. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't like to have a little recognition for something that they've done.
In the mayor's conclusion of the event, she asked all award recipients to stand so the audience could once again praise each and every one for their continued efforts. As the 2009 city election approaches, a handful of residents have already pulled nomination papers for city government positions, including a first-timer for mayor. The residents who took out papers from the city clerk's office are Joseph Collins for mayor, Jennifer Boudry for councilor at large, Paul Farrow for another term as Ward 2 councilor, and Paul Broder for Ward 3 councilor. All 11 city council seats are up for election this year. Councilors and the mayor serve 2-year terms. Election day is November 3rd, and if necessary, the city will hold a preliminary election on October 6th. August 14th is the last day to take out nomination papers, and August 18th is the last day to return them. Let's go now to this week's Committee Corner. DPW representatives told city councilors Monday night, who opted to hold off voting on the fiscal 2010 budget, that cuts to Public Works Department staff are unnecessary and unacceptable. The city council held a public hearing on the budget, which lasted about 15 minutes. Mayor Nancy Stevens recommended a $118.5 million budget, a 1.6% decrease from the current year. The Finance Committee had made $433,000 in further cuts, including 2 jobs in the DPW. Attorney Jack Canzaneri said there's no need to cut the DPW positions.
You should not make a cut unless you have a very dire, very extreme need to make those cuts.
The department has 93 workers, down from 113 employees in 1990. Michael Tripp, a DPW employee in the Forestry, Parks, and Cemetery Division, spoke against the cuts as well.
I think it's time to step back and take a look and make sure that each and every one of us has this city's interest ahead of our own personal interests.
The council will vote on the budget at its June 22nd meeting. Several teachers and administrators gave the school committee a presentation Tuesday night on the instruction method, which features varied levels of students learning together. With about 20 layoffs expected by next school year, the school district is stepping up differentiated instruction. Parents of gifted and talented students have been vocal with their concerns. The current fiscal 2010 school budget calls for a partial cut in the gifted and talented program for grades K through 3. All school committee members were impressed with the presentation and look forward to seeing how school administrators and staff continue to challenge all students this fall. To continue with the school committee's mission to ensure the success of each and every student, this past Sunday was graduation day, a celebration of every senior's success.
It's amazing. Every single year, when you get to this point, it's just so wonderful because you see how excited the kids are. It's a time to really root for them and talk about their successes. It's just an amazing day.
Under the class of the 2009's banner with the motto, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, dream for tomorrow," the 260 students of Marlborough High School received their diplomas and officially became alumni last Sunday. The class cheered and hollered enthusiastically throughout the entire commencement. All students can truly say they have enjoyed their time at Marlborough High School and will miss the times they've spent together.
It's kind of bittersweet because it's been kind of a pain in the butt the whole time, but you know, once you get to the next part of your life, you're going to start immediately trying to be nostalgic and live in the past, and you know, that's probably just what I'm going to miss most about it, just living here.
Principal Deb Roy asked the graduates to remember who helped them get there, asking each student to shout out the name of a teacher who had assisted them. Roy could hardly stop the students from cheering for their favorite teachers. The class of 2009 also did a fair share of cheering for themselves. Superintendent Mary Carlson drew laughs from the crowd as she noted some of the mistakes and apologies made by the class, as well as marking their achievements. Going from principal to superintendent this year, her role in the graduation has changed, but it's been a good change.
This is really the first year that I can act as a superintendent. So for me, it's nice. The students will walk across the stage, and I'll actually be able to congratulate them for the first time as they walk across the stage, and that's really very personal. One of the things you don't get to do as a principal. I know these kids. I was principal for 4 years that they were in the high school, but in 7 years, I never got to congratulate the kids because you read the names and move them on. So for me, that's the biggest difference right now.
Valedictorian Kelsey Sy and Brianna Kanicki of the class of 2009 gave a joint super speech to their class that was both comical and insightful and inspired a standing ovation. Superintendent Carlson is proud of each and every student, and she had a special message for all who graduated this year.
Congratulations. I think you're an amazing class, and I know they'll go far.
A few days earlier down the road, the Assabet Valley High School graduation took place as they celebrated the success of their seniors. At the commencement ceremonies last Thursday night at Assabet Valley High School, students cheered, laughed, and remembered the great times they've shared as students. Valedictorian Kayla Harpin admitted that the world beyond high school can appear scary, but reminded students that their time at Assabet Valley High School has provided them with the tools they need to overcome adversity.
The people here, faculty, students, just everyone is so amazing. I don't think I could forget anyone.
Mark Hollick is experiencing his first year as principal of Assabet Valley High School and says this graduation couldn't have been a better one.
It's been a long week in preparation. I was certainly nervous, but had a lot of good help from the staff. The students were great, and everything just kind of fell into place.
Hollick is an alumni of Assabet Valley and knows that it takes hard work and dedication to graduate. He is quite proud of the students.
I certainly hope that they have a successful career, and I hope they come back and visit us on a regular basis. They're a great group of kids.
New to this year's graduation ceremonies were singing selections.
It really put the finishing touches on tonight. It was great.
Hollick, although saddened that all of the graduating seniors are leaving, says there's a bright look ahead for the fall.
Over 250 kids who are signed up to be incoming freshmen next year, so we're looking forward to continue the success here at Assabet.
The full gymnasium at Assabet Valley High School was quite the sight to see. Another sight to see was Main Street last Sunday as it had been shut down. The Marlborough Masons celebrated their 150th anniversary with a car show hosted by the Marlborough Masonic Lodge. Here's news reporter Jennifer Terrell with the story.
We're here at the Antique Car Show on Main Street in Marlborough, and we are seeing cars from many different eras, like this 1965 Cobra.
We had a meeting in the lodge, and everyone had to come up with ideas about what we could do to bring the Masonic awareness to Marlborough, because it's the 150th year of being in Marlborough.
We planned this to have a car show to bring the community together and onto Main Street. You know, we wanted to open it up and have the community come down and see what's on Main Street.
The Masons have been in Massachusetts for 275 years.
We don't come out and really shine like today, you know, and we just wanted people to know we are here.
Main Street was taken over by several types of classic cars. Shutting down Main Street was no easy task.
The mayor's office and the police have been really cooperative. They're working with us, and hopefully maybe next year we can take the whole Main Street.
The event featured a parade of classic cars, as well as a special appearance by Herbie, the love bug. The turnout for the show was great.
Originally, we'd planned on having them on the street. We're on the street, we're on a side street, we're on the parking garage. We're starting to shoehorn them in anywhere we can get them.
For those interested in classic cars, this was the perfect event to attend.
I'm like a kid in a candy store out here right now.
For Marlborough This Week, I'm Jennifer Terrell.
Well, speaking of Main Street, the city has bid farewell to a beloved Marlborough shop owner. Richard Roach collected baseball cards, comic books, stamps, and coins, and sold them at Hudmar, the shop he owned on Main Street, for 24 years. Richard passed away last Friday. His daughter plans to continue operating the store. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough This Week, one senior student takes a road less traveled. We'll tell you his plans for the immediate future within the world of technology. But first, the Marlborough Food Pantry talks about the tough times. But thanks to a local effort, the shelves for the summer will be fully stocked. Don't move. We're back with those stories right after this short break.
The mission of the Young Professionals Network, a program of the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, is to network and socialize with like-minded young professionals from the Metro West and surrounding areas.
Not enough young professionals are getting out and learning the skills and making the connections that they need.
If you are looking to create long-term business relationships and you want to grow professionally, YPN is for you.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. The Marlborough Food Pantry is a staple in this community, and during these fiscally challenging times, it deems even more important to the residents it serves. Although faced with these tough times, officials are staying positive and are continuing to do all they can to support our residents.
I think that we are experiencing in our small little pantry what the economy is experiencing in our state and in our country in general.
Despite the tough times, Kerr finds a positive spin despite it all.
Believe it or not, the economy is tough, but the donations have been steady and wonderful because this community is just amazing, and it has proven to be over the last 17 years I've been associated with this organization.
A rise in families coming to the pantry has gone up, way up.
Families that used to donate to us on a steady basis now become consumers.
Since resident need has gone up, daily discussions are planned to ensure there's enough for everyone. And in an economy full of unknowns and doubt, Kerr knows one thing.
The one thing we know is not acceptable for us is we will not compromise the need. And so if the need is there, Carol and I will do whatever we can and need to do to meet it.
If you would like to donate to the pantry, please call 508-485-2720, or you can visit the pantry every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 1. To continue with the Marlborough Food Pantry's efforts, the school district has joined forces again this year to help. The second annual Stuff-A-Bus raised an astonishing 15,000 pounds of food for the pantry, 3,000 more pounds than last year. We spoke with the members involved to get the whole story.
Here, I'll hand this to you.
The Marlborough Food Pantry will receive nearly 8 tons of food and other items this summer thanks to a community fundraiser.
Stuff-A-Bus is a community service learning project of the Marlborough Intermediate Elementary School. A community service learning project is the opportunity for students in the community to do something positive and nice for the community. But in addition to that, there's a learning component.
The second annual Stuff a Bus drive, organized by the 4th and 5th grade students at the grades 4 to 7 school, ended last week with 15,342 pounds of items being collected. The students stuffed the equivalent of 4 school buses, outdoing last year's total of 12,000 pounds of food, and the excitement exceeded last year as well.
When you know what's going on, it's easier to get excited about it, and they want to step it up a notch. And there were a lot of contests involved in the classroom, competitions among students and teachers, teachers and teachers, and that was a little different than last year.
Each school helped the cause, and businesses made donations as well.
Stuff a Bus has involved thousands and thousands of people.
Price Chopper donated storage space because the pantry cannot hold all of the food at one time. The 4th and 5th grade students separated all of the items, which also included toiletries and baby formula. The food pantry serves up to 1,100 Marlborough residents each month, and the need for food donations has increased about 20% from 2008 to 2009.
450 of the people who rely on the food pantry every month for their food are students. Students in our classrooms and students that walk the hallways, and I think everybody's very sensitive to that.
Sticking with our schools, thanks to a grant by the Parent Teachers Association, Jarrick Elementary School has a brand new sign. The sign is complete with an announcement board aimed at informing the public with all the great events that are going on at the school. The gift is valued at just over $5,000. Jarrick Elementary is located at 444 Hosmer Street. Well, just as you saw in that last story, a sign is vital to a building, just as a website is essential for a business. Thanks to one student at Assabet Valley High School, when the school's website was made in-house, saving the school thousands. When Guy accepted his diploma last Friday from Marlborough's Assabet Valley High School, it was at the end of a very unconventional 4 years.
I came to Assabet with a lot of knowledge already, and but thankfully, the teachers didn't make me sit and relearn what I already knew. They sort of let me do what I wanted on my own and manage my own projects.
Technologically gifted since age 10, Guy spent much of his high school career pursuing classes that fed his passion for computers. Guy was attracted to Assabet Valley High School because he said it gave him more flexibility to set his own course, and it also let him apply what he learned right away. The school's computer programming and web courses fed his natural talents. Guy also recently rolled out a new website for Assabet Valley, leaving the high school the site that can expand to 3 or 4 times its size in just one day.
Our school website was pretty simple. It was built by an outside company, and it cost the school a lot of money to keep it maintained. Today we have a brand new finished website, so much better than our last version, and it allows any teacher to edit content on the website, allows pretty much any administration in the school to easily add content, update, and keep the website up to date with information for students and parents.
Now, instead of committing to a 4-year college, he's committing to tending his own business, a web development company that's already making money.
It's currently valued at almost $500,000.
His company has developed SourceRadio.com, a website devoted to video game enthusiasts that already has 70,000 members, including 1,500 who pay for premium content.
We have a pretty good service. We offer HD videos, even before YouTube did.
Source Radio has been described as YouTube for gamers and shows gaming movies, videos, and tips for improved play and higher scores. While he has enrolled at a community college in Worcester, he said he will devote most of his energies to his company.
I'm going to be doing a year at Quincy, just to see how I like college. And while doing that, I'm going to continue working in my company and my job.
Coming up on Marlborough this week, a message from the Conservation Commission and your Pet of the Week. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Daniel. My brother Jacob has autism. Most people don't know what that is. We've learned about autism. Through the Autism Alliance of Metro West, we met other families just like ours. Now it's easier for us to do fun things all together. Please visit the website at www.autismalliance.org.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. The Conservation Commission has made an announcement that the Fort Meadow Reservoir will once again be treated for Eurasian water milfoil. Here are the details you need to know. Only a portion of Fort Meadow Reservoir, located in Marlborough and Hudson, will be treated on Wednesday, June 17th by aquatic control technology to control Eurasian water milfoil and variable water milfoil. These species of milfoil are invasive, non-native weeds that, if not controlled, will spread and grow rapidly and choke the lake, making boating, swimming, and fishing difficult. This treatment will not adversely affect the native plants that are important to a healthy lake. The lake water use will be restricted beginning on the day of treatment, which is Wednesday, June 17th. The Commission requests that no boating or swimming take place, no drinking of lake water for 72 hours or until June 20th, and no irrigation with lake water for 5 days or until June 22nd, as the herbicide may harm your lawn and plants. Once these sections of the lake are treated, lake users should do their part by checking boats and trailers for weeds when taking boats in and out of the water. This will ensure that we are not reintroducing the weeds from other lakes into Fort Meadow Reservoir and vice versa. Please check boats and boat trailers for hitchhiker weeds and remove them immediately. If you need any additional information, please feel free to contact the Marlborough Conservation Commission at 508-460-3768 or Aquatic Control at 508-865-1000.
Today we have Shaggy, and Shaggy is a great dog. We don't know much about him, but what we've seen about him here in the shelter is he's friendly, he's easy to walk on a leash, he loves to shake hands, he's very affectionate. Shaggy was actually found running loose in a local town nearby, and no one claimed him. He came to the shelter. He had been recently neutered. He didn't have any ID, or he wasn't microchipped, so we weren't able to track his owner. But unfortunately, what did happen was Shaggy tested positive for heartworm as part of his routine physical here at Buddy Dog. So he will be receiving heartworm treatment, and that consists of a couple of injections to kill the heartworm, and then follow-up treatment a month later, and we'll monitor him through blood tests, and then he will be up for adoption. He is a friendly, sweet dog. He's probably about 4 or 5 years old, possibly golden retriever chow mix, we think, and he's going to make somebody a great pet. So if you're interested in learning more about Shaggy or any of the other dogs here at Buddy Dog, please feel free to call us at 978-443-6990.
Still ahead, the Colonial Garden Club's 50th anniversary celebration. But first, a look at your 5-day forecast. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Hi, I'm firefighter Mark. I just got back from fighting a fire that could have been prevented. Here's an easy and simple way to protect you and your family from a fire. Change your batteries in your smoke detector. When replacing the batteries in your smoke detector, make sure that you have fresh, new batteries. When testing your smoke detector, you want to make sure that you push the test button. And don't forget about carbon monoxide in your home. There are 2 types of detectors to protect yourself from carbon monoxide. This one is battery operated and needs to be mounted on your wall. This one needs to be plugged into your wall outlet. So remember, be smart, be aware, be fire safe.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. The Garden Club celebrated their 50th anniversary this past Wednesday night as they looked back through the years of continued support to this city. Here's more in the story. Garden Club celebrated 50 years of service Wednesday night at the Courtyard by Marriott.
50 years of history in Marlborough is pretty significant for a small club. We started off with just 5 members, and we've grown to about 60 members today.
The room was full of gorgeous, colorful floral displays, a table that looked back throughout the years, and 60 smiling club members.
We have senior members, we have an active membership, and our ages run anywhere from our 30s all the way up to 90 years old.
The current president of the club is extremely proud of how far the club has come.
We do a lot for the community. We hand out $3,000 worth of scholarships to high school students who are majoring in horticulture or forestry or the sciences. And in addition, we do a lot of beautification in the community.
Currently, Garden Club members maintain 13 adopt-a-sites throughout the city. Additionally, the club has assisted Marlborough Hospital, the Marlborough Historical Society, the Marlborough Public Library, and the Marlborough Middle School with plantings and maintenance.
I think gardening is good for all ages because of the exercise. It's just very therapeutic. Everybody likes to get their hands in the dirt. We all have little dirt fingernails, and that's what makes us big and strong.
The Garden Club meets the second Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. at the Jarwick Elementary School. For more information, you can call 508-481-6645 or visit their website at colonialgardenclub.org. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
The following program is provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up right now on this week's MTW News Update, the City Council approves the budget for fiscal year 2010. City Hall gets a much-needed upgrade just in time for the hot months ahead. Plus, students at one elementary school dance their way into summer. And once again, residents will get the chance to taste downtown Marlborough. It's all coming up right now on this week's MTW News Update. Welcome to this MTW News Update. Let's begin right now with this week's top stories. The City Council Monday night approved a $118 million budget that restored two much-debated full-time public work jobs and made new cuts to unfilled DPW positions. The budget, a 2% decrease from the current fiscal year, also cuts about 25 jobs from the school department through layoffs and retirements. The council cut $493,000 from Mayor Nancy Stevens' recommended budget. In budget hearings held last month, the Finance Committee had recommended $433,000 in cuts. No councilors opposed the overall budget. The Westerly Wastewater Treatment Plant's major upgrade got a potential boost of millions of dollars from the federal government this week. The estimated $40 million project is on a list of about 125 drinking water and wastewater infrastructure projects in line to receive a total of $185 million in federal stimulus funding for Massachusetts, according to Governor Deval Patrick's office. The city could receive 9 to 14% in assistance for the treatment plant project's cost, though the exact amount has not been determined yet. Mayor Nancy Stevens says she expects work would begin by early next year. The project's plans are currently pending before the Department of Environmental Protection. Due to the December ice storm, City Hall has remained without air conditioning thus far this summer after the central heating and cooling system was damaged. On Wednesday, a huge crane helped to remove the old system and install a new one on the top of City Hall. The installation was complete by Thursday afternoon. The city's new personnel director is settling into his busy job. David Brumby took over last Monday following a several-month-long search process that involved 2 committees and several meetings. Brumby has been meeting people and learning about the key issues thus far. And as one new employee begins in the city, one very special employee is retiring. Jean Paltak, the principal clerk at the Marlborough Council on Aging, spent her last day on the job at the senior center this week, celebrating with a retirement party with many of her close friends. Paltak talked with admiration about her coworkers and the seniors who pass through the center every day. 69-year-old Paltak says she is leaving simply because she will soon turn 70 and it's time to retire. Jarrick Elementary School students danced their way into summer this past week. School officials awarded the students with an end-of-the-year dance party. As music came pouring through the caf and gymnasium, all students danced and jumped around with excitement. The students were most excited at the musical selection of the Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus, and the school's theme song. All students expressed quite an array of dance moves that impressed everyone who was watching. From bike helmets and balloon animals to cotton candy and coloring books, the grounds at Marlborough Hospital were a kid-friendly mecca of activity last weekend as hundreds of kids and their families took part in a safe summer fun day. The event kicked off at 10 a.m. with kids and families taking part in all sorts of activities while learning about sun exposure, recycling, heart health, and how to stay germ-free. Kids also got the opportunity to climb aboard police cars and fire trucks while talking to the officers and firemen. Families also got to check out the UMass Memorial Hospital Lifelight helicopter. It was a day of fun for all.
Today we have Molly, and Molly's a beautiful hound mix. She came to us from a rescue group in Virginia where they see a lot of hounds. Molly's a quiet dog. She's probably about 5 or 6 years old. She's great with other dogs, and she's lived with a lot of other dogs in her rescue home, so we know that for sure. She's easy to walk on a leash. She's going to make a great family pet. She's probably about 5 or 6 years old, and she's ready to go. So if you're interested in Molly or any of the other dogs here at Buddy Dog, please feel free to call us at the shelter. The number is 978-443-6990.
It's the last sportscast of the year until the fall, and Coach Aaliyah Nicholas and assistant Michael Jordan over at Marlborough High School have something for your kids to possibly do this summer.
You play like you practice like you play. You play hard, you practice hard. Then the kids said, then you get some playing time.
We got 3 weeks of camps. Our first week of camp is here at Marlborough High School, June 29th through July 2nd for boys and girls, ages 7 to 17. And our next camp is at Four Kicks facility on 219 Forest Street, and that's July 13th through the 16th. And our last week is August 10th through the 13th at Astor Valley High School in Marlborough.
There's a certain style that Michael Jordan would like to preach to his kids this summer as well.
In order for the kids to play at the next level, that up-tempo style is more scoring, more fun to watch, and everybody gets involved. A lot of kids think that the big name camps makes better players. It's not. It's what you have inside of you and what you need to work on, your fundamentals, and right hand, left hand, up and down on the basket. Like I said, the up-tempo style, that's what we teach you here.
Hope you enjoy those basketball camps, but to wrap up spring, enjoy this.
Boom, clap, boom, de clap, boom, boom, clap, boom, de clap, boom, boom, clap. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, hey! Red one, hey, hey, hey. Shawty got
got that super thing. Hotter than the sun in the south of Spain. Got me soon as I walk through the door. Oh, my pocket started tickling. The way she drop it low, that thing got me wanna spend my money on her. She get it poppin', lock it, drop it, that birthday cake. Got a candle, need to blow that crazy flame. I take my red, black card and my jewelry. Shawty is cool like the fire, cool like fire. Somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor.
Soto with a Soto pop.
She's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shawty's fire burning on the dance floor. She's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shawty's fire burning on the dance floor. She got that fire in the dance now. Make them fellas run around. Hey,
big hit.
No exit from the dance floor, so them boys want more. Hey, she get it poppin', lock it, drop it, that birthday cake. Got a candle, need to blow that crazy flame. I take my red, black card and my jewelry. Shawty is cool like the fire, cool like fire. Somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. Whoa, I got a down. She won't bring the roof to ground on the dance floor. Whoa, she's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shawty's fire burning on the dance floor. Somebody call 911.
And before we go, the second annual Taste of Downtown Marlborough will be taking place this Monday night, June 22nd, from 5 to 9 p.m. Sample the foods of more than 20 establishments, enjoy wine and beer tastings, and take in the entertainment, historical displays, and other attractions as you stroll along Main Street. Admission is $15 in advance or $20 on Monday night, with a $5 discount for senior citizens. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of your MTW News Update. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
The preceding program was provided in part by St. Mary's Credit Union.
Coming up right now on Marlborough this week, as the Mayor's Youth Commission aims to bridge a gap this summer by providing free lunches to children in need, the group needs your help now more than ever. How you can help is coming up in our top story. The 58th Annual Labor Day Parade will kick off this year on September 7th with a new theme and a new director. We have the details. Plus, another rainy day on Monday didn't hold back hundreds of food lovers from enjoying the second annual Taste of Downtown Marlborough. And later in this half hour, Marlborough Hospital aimed to ensure a safe, fun summer for all residents last weekend. Those stories and more on this week's show. Marlborough This Week begins right now. The Marlborough Children's Summer Lunch Program kicked off once again this past week, and we have the details you need to know. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin right now with this week's top story. 1 out of every 4 children enrolled in the Marlborough Public Schools participates in the free or reduced lunch program, and once the schools close for the summer, that program also closes, and that's where the summer lunch program steps into play.
This is our 4th summer of providing free lunches to children in Marlborough, and these are kids who might have gotten free or reduced lunches during the school year, and when school closes, that program is gone. And what the Mayor's Youth Commission is doing is trying to fill that gap in services. We're trying to provide lunches for anybody who might need them.
With every resident feeling the pinch of this economic crisis, donations are down and the program is in need of your help.
People that we relied on before are not able to come through for us, so we're really looking to have some help either financially, and all money goes just to buying food for the kids.
Donations don't need to be a big deal. Simply purchasing brown lunch bags can help. Every donation goes a long way.
If you're out grocery shopping and you see snacks on sale, juice boxes, bags of fruit, please drop them off at the Walker Building. Ziploc bags, the large lunch bags. We go through those quite regularly, so any of those items would be a help.
According to AIRS, volunteers donating their time to help make the lunches every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday has been great so far. Cash or food donations is what is desperately needed. If children aren't participating in summer programs this summer but still need a lunch, they are encouraged to go to the Methodist Church on Church Street.
There's no paperwork to fill out. There's no financial qualifications. Anybody who is in need of a lunch can go to any of the locations and get one. That would be the Methodist Church in Marlborough on Church Street, the SMOC office. It's the SMOC and WIC office there on the corner. Countryside Village, the Boys and Girls Club. We're also going to be providing to summer schools and summer camp programs. They're going to call us and let us know how many that they need.
The program runs completely on volunteer help and community donations. Lunches will be assembled at the Metro Church located at 401 Elm Street on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. until August 28th. For more information, please call Human Services at 508-460-3758. The 58th annual Marlborough Labor Day Parade will step off at noon on September 7th with a new theme and a new director. A Strong America is this year's theme, and Mayor Nancy Stevens held a press conference on Wednesday afternoon to deliver the news. Here are the highlights from the press conference that includes a donation of $5,000 for this year's parade.
With me today are some old faces and new faces, old friends and new friends. First, we have George Wampum, our former parade director, who just couldn't stay away one more year. Our new parade director, Ed Thurber. Our recreation director, David Grasso. And on both ends, we have representatives from Raytheon, Jim McGrath, and Steve Symes. It is my pleasure to welcome them all here today and officially announce Ed Thurber as our parade director. And Ed's going to give you some of the details of this year's Labor Day Parade.
With the economy the way it is, it's kind of a challenge for us to raise the money that is necessary for the parade. And I may have to scale it down a little bit this year, but I want to let you know that I will promise to keep the high quality of standard that George Wampum has left as a legacy to the city.
I'm delighted to give you this check for $5,000 as Raytheon Company's commitment to the City of Marlborough and the Labor Day Parade. Raytheon is delighted to provide you with these funds so that we can continue this great tradition in the City of Marlborough.
Raytheon has been a wonderful corporate partner with us and the city through so many different endeavors. So thank you so much for being here and for the check. And thank you so much to everybody, Ed, George, David, for everything they do to put together this wonderful event.
To continue with another great event, the June gloom didn't put a damper on the second annual Taste of Downtown Marlborough on Monday night as hundreds turned out for a night of fun. Here's Carl Wilhelm with more on this story.
Thanks, Kristen. For the second straight year, the rain has come down on the downtown Taste of Marlborough, but some area residents have still had the opportunity to make their way down and enjoy some of the local fare.
You want to be where everybody knows your name.
Downtown business owners had the opportunity to get to know a few more names on Monday in the second annual Taste of Downtown Marlborough.
Yeah, this is more of our idea to get people in who haven't been to our shop, and it's a great way to introduce them to what we do and what we have.
I've never seen a lot of these restaurants, or I've never heard of them before. It gives me the opportunity to try them out, and maybe if I do like them, I'll go ahead and eat there for dinner or lunch.
With over 20 different establishments, from pizza, pulled pork, and beef kebabs, it was difficult for some residents to hit them all.
Coral Seafoods, Bin Bin.
And a lot of pizza.
Yeah. Right, Sorrento's, Main Street Cafe.
Great sweets at the Resilient Bakery.
Right, exactly. So we've hit quite a few of them.
Thai place, Papa John's, Lazy Dog. That's about it.
Well, I tried the pizza here just around the corner. And that was not, in fact, good variety to pick from, and it's very tasty. So I figured, there's about 15 more to go. So I came with an empty stomach. And I've got 2 golden retrievers who are over across the street in the car looking at me. What is he getting?
Although the weather wasn't the best outside, there's certainly plenty to eat inside.
Well, obviously, I think weather would have been, if weather were better, we would have a better turnout. But tonight we've got some cheese, some of our artisanal cheeses that we bring in specially to the shop. And we've got some California wine tonight that we're sampling out as well.
From dancing in the rain to live music, those who brave the elements enjoyed the evening. Carl Wilhelm, Marlborough This Week.
The City Council Monday night unanimously approved an ordinance that heightens the potential penalty for public marijuana use. Police officers can now issue a criminal complaint and impose a $300 fine on anyone caught using marijuana in public in the city. The ordinance is one more tool for the police department to use in dealing with the issue of marijuana use. In other business, the council passed an ordinance requiring the registration and maintenance of abandoned and foreclosing homes. All owners of abandoned and foreclosing homes must now register the properties with the city. The ordinance can help decrease blight and increase safety. At this week's school committee meeting, officials talked about new course guidelines for Marlborough High School seniors. For the past 2 school years, seniors have been required to complete a minimum of 22 credits. If a senior is on pace for 24 credits and fails one 4-credit class, that student would not be able to graduate. In 2 years, 6 students have been affected by the rule. Now, the school committee recommends seniors take between 26 and 28 credits. In other business, Mayor Nancy Stevens announced that Kane Elementary School principal, John Collins, intends to retire at the end of the next school year. Superintendent Mary Carlson said Collins has worked for the district for about 35 years. The school department will form a search committee to help pick a new principal. I'm Dan Ginden for this week's Committee Corner.
To continue with our schools, this summer will feature a flurry of activity up on the rooftops of several city buildings as Kane Elementary School, the grades 4 to 7 school gym, and the police station will all receive much needed renovations. The Kane roof is 21 years old, the police station is 20 years old, and the grades 4 to 7 school gym is 11. Work should begin at Kane within the next few weeks and then move on to the grades 4 to 7 school. Work is expected to be finished by early September. A biotechnology company is moving its headquarters from Marlborough to Wisconsin, but the vacancy could soon be filled. Exact Sciences Corporation, a company focused on cancer research, is shipping out of its 100 Campus Drive location. The Campus Drive complex, built by 3Com, is home to about 1,100 workers. Another person who is shipping out of Marlborough is a longtime resident and host of Crossroads here on WMCT, Maurice Lewis. Let's go now to Dan Ginden, who is with Maurice on the set of Crossroads. Dan?
Thanks, Kristen. That's right. We are here on the set of Crossroads, which pretty soon will be no more because this man next to me, my good friend Maurice Lewis, is moving onward and upward. So why don't you tell us, Maurice, where are you going?
Dan, we're moving to Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is, for us, a perfect place to retire because it's called the Scenic City, and it's not Houston.
Yeah.
By Houston, I mean Houston is like flat, hot, and humid.
Yeah.
By contrast, Chattanooga has like 4 seasons like we have here, except we don't get snowstorms that we know of. Maybe next year that might change since we're
You might bring something down with you.
there. Absolutely, you know. And it's nestled in the mountains, so as a career motorcycle rider that likes to do touring roads and things of that nature, it should just be absolutely fantastic.
When Kristen said, we need to interview Maurice, I said, oh, please let me do it because you and I go back so far.
Yeah, and I've been trying to get you on the set of this show for how long, and now here
I am.
Finally, on my last day, you're here, and that's great because this has been something I've wanted to do for a long time.
What will you miss most about Marlborough?
All of the people here, and you know, there's so many exciting opportunities to do things. When Terry and I, my wife Terry, when we first came into Marlborough, Al Lima, the city planner, said we need citizens to come out with us on Saturday mornings, 8 o'clock at City Hall, and we're going to talk about what Marlborough should look like. So we thought, well, let's do that, and you get a chance to kind of meet people. We met Mayor Mike McGordy, and he opened up a lot of doors, okay, in terms of welcoming us into the city. McGordy has a wicked sense of humor, kind of like yours, Dan. You know, he knows how to make a point with humor. And so when we first talked about diversity, I thought to myself, you know, I kind of like this guy. He just cuts right through it. And so that was good. And we've had an opportunity to work with you and also with this station. I have a lot to be proud of in terms of having been a part of the whole growth process. I know where we started. You know, I know what it was like then.
Yes.
And you've done a superb job. You've got a great staff, and I want to compliment the cable committee for sticking with you guys. I'll miss you guys and the staff.
Maurice.
And my news director, I want to say, hey.
Maurice, it's been a great pleasure to work with you all these years, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Kristen,
it.
take it away.
Thanks, Dan. Now, not only Maurice is retiring, longtime Marlborough resident Jean Peltek has as well. We caught up with her at her home this past week to see how she feels about moving on from her job at the senior center after 15 years.
I've been at the senior center 14 years, 10 months, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
For Jean Peltek, retiring from the job she's held for 15 years is like leaving a family.
I enjoyed this job more than any other job that I have ever had.
Peltek, the principal clerk at the Marlborough Council on Aging, spent her last day on the job at the senior center last week, celebrating with friends at her retirement party.
I never expected to see the turnout. I can't thank them enough for doing it for me. And I was happy that my husband and our priest, Father Fran, was able to enjoy it. I mean, he's still talking about the senior center. He says, I'm surprised you're even leaving, Jean. It's such a beautiful place down there. Look at the people.
A teary-eyed Peltek talked about a gift she received from the Council on Aging's director, Amy Lovelace.
I want to thank everybody that the cards, the gifts, their good wishes, I really appreciate that, and that's what's keeping me going.
Diane Halper, former secretary to Mayor Nancy Stevens, left her position and has taken over for Jean. Peltek said they picked a great person for the job, noting Halper's personality and kindness.
I didn't even know that Diane had applied for it. I knew there was about over 100 people that applied for it, but I was so happy to hear that Diane got it. She's a people person.
69-year-old Peltek says she's leaving simply because she will soon turn 70 and it's just time to retire. She does admit that she will miss seeing all of her friends at the senior center every day, but she will be stopping in every now and then to say hello, sooner than you think.
Well, I'll be starting my classes next week, so I'll be seeing them.
As you heard in the last piece, Diane Halper has just taken over for Peltek, and instead of giving her some time to settle into her new digs, we decided to take our cameras over to the senior center right away to see how she's fitting in at her new job. It's only been 1 week since Diane Halper started her new job as principal clerk at the Council on Aging, but resident support has been pouring in.
The reception I've received has been awesome. People have been coming in, people that I've recognized, and also a lot of people that I don't know.
Halper, who has worked in the mayor's office for 12 years, says she's looking forward to the change.
It will give me a chance to be a little bit more creative, possibly take over doing the newsletter, the monthly newsletter.
Halper had thought she would finish out the year with Mayor Nancy Stevens, but when this opportunity presented itself, it deemed a perfect fit. Halper hopes her connections within the city will help the seniors at this center.
I think if we could work on getting the community to work with the seniors and contribute to the senior center.
Halper, although quite excited to bring new things to the center, realizes what an impact Jean Peltek had in this community.
It's always hard to step into a position where someone has been here for a long time. And I've had that experience before, and I really can't fill someone else's shoes. I have my own that I think I want to direct in another area.
Your new principal clerk is currently getting acclimated to the new environment, but does encourage all to come down and see what this center has to offer.
I've noticed also, by being here just for a short period of time, A lot of people who just come in for the first time suddenly realize there are a lot of people that they know. So it's really quite a social area, and people get to meet old friends and make new friends also.
Coming up, the Wellness Committee's Walking Wednesdays comes to an end till the next school year, but families can continue to walk every Wednesday. We'll tell you where. But first, Jarwick students dance their way into the summer months. Don't move. We're back with that story right after this short break.
The mission of the Young Professionals Network, a program of the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, is to network and socialize with like-minded young professionals from the Metro West and surrounding areas.
Not enough young professionals are getting out and learning the skills and making the connections that they need.
If you are looking to create long-term business relationships and you want to grow professionally, YPN is for you.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. Jarwick Elementary School said thanks to their students last week for all their hard work, this year with a school-wide dance party, and as you're about to see, they seem to enjoy the activity just a little. Thanks to a fundraising event carried out by the kindergarten students at Jarwick Elementary School, all students got the chance to dance their way into summer last week. A school dance was held in the cafeteria and gymnasium areas to thank all the students for their hard work all year long.
Originally it was scheduled to happen outside, but the weather did not cooperate. So we had kindergarten and first grade in the cafeteria and second and third grade in the gym. And we danced. We danced for a whole hour and we had a great time.
The PTO made t-shirts for the students to wear during the dance, but because of the amount of dancing they did,
many of them took them off throughout the event because it just got so hot.
The students had an array of dance moves that impressed all who were watching.
The second and third graders tended to do everything as a group. So we had line dancers, we had great activities, whole group activities going on in there. At the same time, the same song was going on in the kindergarten and the first graders, and they were just going, ah, and just having a great time.
Murphy states that while this activity was fun, it also had a physical activity component, which is important to Jarwick Elementary School.
We truly believe that when children are moving, when they're happy, they learn and they're able to apply it in multiple different places.
Murphy also admits that the Wellness Committee in the city does a fantastic job keeping all students moving.
We have a tremendous wellness committee that has planned a number of activities before school, after school, and during the school to try to get the students moving. Irene Masmanian, our PE teacher, has been integral, working with parents and the community and the students, trying to get everyone involved.
To continue with keeping our kids moving, the Wellness Committee's Walking Wednesday program was a huge success among students this year. But now that school is over, the committee wants to keep the walking excitement going. We met up with Wellness Committee member Leslie Crowley to learn more. The Wellness Committee's effort to have all students walking before school every Wednesday was successful once again this year.
Walking Wednesdays this spring was fantastic. You know, we had a couple of weeks that we had to cancel due to rain. But otherwise, it was very successful.
If this is the first time you're hearing about this great program, students would walk every Wednesday morning to school with parents and teachers. The aim of Walking Wednesdays is to get kids' bodies and minds moving before they sit down in their classrooms in the morning.
We hit over 100 kids at Jarwick School one week, so we were really happy. It's really nice to have all of the backings of the principals, the administrators, the superintendent, the assistant superintendent. The mayor walked a couple weeks ago with us, so it's really nice to see that everyone's getting involved.
Since the program began last year, it has expanded within the school district. As the weeks went on, word spread and participation rose.
We have 2 now starting points at 4 through 7. We have 4 at Jarwick, 2 at Kane, and this spring, we also launched Richards Walking Thursdays.
Now that school's over, parents and students are invited once to walk every Wednesday night all summer long at Goloney Park for the 2nd annual Walk Across America event.
Last year we did it to kind of keep the enthusiasm going, the kids interested, the kids having fun.
There's no registration and no obligation. It's just a fun night once a week to keep the excitement of getting fit going all summer long. Walking Wednesdays will be up and running once again on September 9th. For more information, please check out the Wellness Committee's new website at marlboroughwellness.org. From bike helmets and balloon animals to cotton candy and coloring books, the grounds at Marlborough Hospital were a kid-friendly mecca of activity last weekend as hundreds of kids and their families took part in the hospital's annual Safe Summer Fun Day.
Everything we do here is interactive, so that we're not just handing out a brochure, we're teaching children and their families through hands-on events.
Over 1,000 residents came out for this year's Safe Summer Fun Day. The event kicked off at 10 a.m. with kids and families taking part in activities like taking on the rock climbing wall or seeing how hard they could throw a baseball. Tables were also set up where kids could pick up coloring books, stickers, or pencils while learning about sun exposure, recycling, heart health, and how to stay germ-free.
We are a community hospital. We are serving the community as best we can, and this is one opportunity for people who may not have come to Marlborough Hospital to learn a little bit more about the departments and come in and say, wow, this is a great hospital right here in our community.
Marlborough Hospital's staff members also fit children for free bike helmets, while another station demonstrated bike and pedestrian safety.
It's very important that children wear a bike helmet, but also one that is fitted correctly so it protects them.
Kids also got an opportunity to climb aboard police cars and fire trucks while talking to the officers and firemen. They also got to check out the UMass Memorial Hospital Life Flight helicopter. While the event provides plenty of fun activities, it's also a chance for kids to learn something and to see what this hospital is all about. UMass Memorial also had its Ronald McDonald Caremobile at the event, where kids were given free toothbrushes and parents could get information on the Caremobile's free medical, dental, and outreach services.
It's just a nice event to make sure that we get everybody thinking about safety before we run off on all of our summer adventures.
Coming up, a behind-the-scenes look at the Buddy Dog Humane Society and your Pet of the Week. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Daniel. My brother Jacob has autism.
Most people don't know what that is.
We've learned about autism.
To the Autism Alliance of Metro West, we met other families just like ours. Now it's easier for us to do fun things all together.
Please visit the website at www.autismalliance.org.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. Before we get to our Pet of the Week, we want to give a behind-the-scenes look at the Buddy Dog Humane Society, the shelter we get our Pet of the Week from. Buddy Dog offers pet owners free services to ensure a good experience at the shelter. One thing they do offer is sessions with an animal behaviorist. Buddy Dog's shelter behaviorist, Ray McSoley, has been working with animal problem behavior for over 35 years and has seen it all. Ray has his own private practice, but spends quite a bit of time at the shelter aiming to solve the struggles some pet owners experience when adopting a pet. Ray shows them hands-on techniques to gain control of their adopted pets. Ray sees separation anxiety, house training issues to minor aggression problems, which are all very typical in shelter dogs. Where the problems step in are when owners feel sorry for the pets which they have saved and try to compensate for their past.
They overload the dog with affection. The problem with that is that they never establish a leader-follower role.
Ray says dogs are dogs and need to be treated like animals. You are always the leader. It should never be the pet.
The dog is not a child, and so that if we try to apply human behavior to a dog, then it's not going to work.
Ray says the most important thing pet owners need to know is that the relationship needs to be built on trust and respect.
And if they do that, then they'll have, in 99% of the cases, probably a very loving relationship.
Training a pet to behave well is an ongoing effort.
It should become just a part of the daily lifestyle of the dog and the owner. And if they do, it becomes a part of just a pattern of behavior for them, and it becomes easier and easier and easier to do it.
You can see more of the behind-the-scenes look at the Buddy Dog Shelter on this month's episode of Helping Hands. You can check out the show this Saturday at 5 and 5:30 and Sunday at 9 and 9:30 a.m.
Today we have Brandy, and Brandy's a cute little combination of a basset hound and a lab.
So she's long and low, but she's got energy like a lab. She came to us as a stray, but she had a microchip, so we were able to locate her former owner, who was no longer interested in keeping Brandy, but was able to give us some information about her. She's active, she's friendly, she's housebroken, she's spayed, she's ready to go. So if you're interested in Brandy, please call us at the shelter. The number is 978-443-6990.
Still ahead, a local environmental group expands in size and changes locations. We have the details, but first, a look at your 5-day forecast. Stay with us. We're back right after this. Welcome back to Marlborough this week. For those students who need to make up some missing credits to be able to graduate with their class, Assabet Valley High School is offering their annual summer school opportunity from July 6th to the 31st. There will be 3 90-minute classes each day of the week, starting daily at 8 a.m. and ending at 12:40 p.m. These classes are available to all area students. For more information, go to assabettech.com. The registration deadline is next Friday, July 3rd. And before we go, local environmental group Green Marlborough's membership is increasing, so future meetings will be held at the Marlborough Public Library, which can accommodate a larger group. The next Green Marlborough meeting is 7 to 8:30 p.m. next Thursday, July 2nd. Meetings will continue to be the second Thursday of each month at the library. For more information, please call Jen Boudry at 508-481-0569. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.